Well, Africa Day festivities are in full swing in the Ghanaian capital, Accra. This as the continent marks the formation of the African Organization of African Unity, which was meant to free the continent from the shackles of colonialism and oppression. Khayelihle Khumalo joins us now. Khaya, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Now, of course, what an important day, what a significant day, and no better place for you to be commemorating this day right in the heart of where it all started. Talk to us about what are the key focal points there.
Well, that's right, Unata. Here in Ghana, they do say Akwaba, which simply means welcome. So this is right at the very center where it all started. You go back to 1957 when Ghana really got its own independence from Britain, and then just moved subsequently to be a leader in terms of inspiring other countries in the sub-Saharan Africa to also gain freedom. So now, at the very core of the issues that the continent is battling with is around economic development. We have seen, obviously, a bit of a double whammy when you look at the challenges presented by COVID-19, and now, obviously, the issue around the ramifications of the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. That has been a talking point just in the discussions of the African Development Bank Group, as also it's hosting its own annual meetings. But apart from that, there is a very great deal of excitement here in the Ghanaian capital. A lot of people really are wearing their beautiful colors and really showing the diversity of the continent, but very mindful of the very challenges that are still quite visible in the continent in terms of dealing with poverty eradication, dealing with the gender empowerment of women in Africa, but also the issues around climate change as well, presenting quite bad results in so many parts of the continent. But Unati, joining us now is South Africa's High Commissioner here in Ghana. Of course, that's Grace Mason. So, Madam High Commissioner, once again, thank you so much indeed. So it is indeed a very auspicious day as we look at Africa Day. So truly remarkable, but also very mindful of the challenges that do still lie ahead in the continent.
Thank you and good afternoon. Thank you for having me. In Ghana, we say Akwaba. It means welcome. To my fellow South Africans, Ndimasiari, Abusheni, Dumelang, Tobela, Molweni, and to my African brothers and sisters of African descent in the diaspora, happy Africa Day. Khaya, it is indeed an auspicious day as we commemorate Africa Day. And I would like to commence by just invoking the immortal words of the founding fathers of the OAU, former President Kwame Nkrumah. And I'd like to quote, as he said, "I am African not because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me," unquote. As we celebrate Africa Day, Khaya, we celebrate our collective freedoms, identity as well. And this is a day that we as Africans will then commemorate African Day. African Day, as AU was launched in South Africa 20 years ago, as we celebrate the African Union, and the theme for this year for the African Union is strengthening resilience in nutrition and food security, and that is the backdrop of the agenda for the AU for 2022, and also in pursuit of Agenda 2063, creating the Africa that we want. And you're correct, Khaya, with greater responsibilities comes with our freedoms. As we celebrate our collective freedoms, we must also know that it comes with greater responsibilities. We are currently grappling with the aftermath of the global pandemic, which has disrupted global value chains. and as well as the effects of climate change. Now, these are the responses, and with South Africa, the responses to the COVID-19 pandemic has taught us to become self-reliant, to innovate, to then also produce our own industries and own vaccine productions. So those are the mitigations of the COVID-19 pandemic, and of course we are grappling with climate change, Khaya. And we look at the opportunities that present us. And as the African Union, to date, we can also celebrate some of the achievements that we have made so far. The establishment of institutions in the African Union. We now have the Pan-African Parliament that is also so graciously hosted in Johannesburg, as well as the African Peer Review Mechanism. Khaya, we have our South African Secretary General at the helm of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is also graciously hosted in Accra. And that is an opportunity and just a comparative advantage for the continent when we look at our development strategies, recovering our respective economies post-COVID-19, our respective developmental strategies, our national development plans, our ERRP strategies. It's reviving our economies. And at the apex of that, indeed, Khaya, is economic diplomacy. And in Ghana, we've got a large footprint of South African corporates doing business in Ghana. And as you moved around for the past week around Accra, you will see that in Accra Mall, we have your retail, ShopRite, we have Game, we have got Mr. Price. We also have our major banks in Ghana, Stanbic, FNB, ABSA. We've got telecommunications sector, MTN in our mining industries. We also have in the western region of Ghana, we have our gold fields, in all other SMMEs, and corporates in Ghana, in South African corporates doing business in Ghana, over 200 South African corporates, a large footprint in terms of our economic diplomacy trajectory, promoting South Africa, promoting inward and outward trade between our two countries as part of our bilateral relations, and also promoting, and we just had President Ramaphosa launching the Presidential Investment Summit on the 24th of March in South Africa. So that is what we are promoting and part of our recovery strategy and developmental trajectory for South Africa and for the continent, Khaya.
And just once again, Madam High Commissioner, we look at the ramifications emanating from the Ukraine-Russia conflict. We know that in the continent you do have quite a number of countries relying from the wheat, the soybeans, the maize, coming from these warring countries. Just with Ghana, quite a very lot of arable land. How can agriculture be used to mitigate the very serious looming food crisis that a lot of people are talking about in this continent?
Thank you, Khaya. And the opportunities that we have as South Africa, President Ramaphosa undertook a state visit to Ghana at the end of December last year. And as part of his state visit and inaugural session of the Binational Commission, a number of agreements were signed. And especially looking at the theme of the African Union, we signed a memorandum of understanding in the areas of agriculture to cooperate with the government of Ghana. And you are correct. There are so much opportunities in terms of food security and agriculture, the opportunities that exist between our two nations. You look at the regions and the geographics of Ghana, you've got regions in the northern regions where primarily the economic activity centers around agriculture. The Volta region the Western region, the Eastern region, and the Ashanti region. So those are the opportunities that we will pursue in terms of collaborating in food security and agriculture. And as I met the Minister of Agriculture, as you've indicated, on the margins of the African Development Bank's meetings, we discussed the opportunities, and South Africa will then also envisage to undertake a visit led by Minister Didiza, delegation of South Africans, to come and look at further pursuing opportunities in the regions of agriculture, food security, animal husbandry, and also looking at skills transfer and further opportunities of cooperation. But the opportunity that we also have, Khaya, as Africans, is that we should also use the trajectory of the African Continental Free Trade Area to look within ourselves, African trade, regional integration, continental integration, that we begin to trade amongst ourselves in the areas of food security, products that are Ghanaians, and I'll speak about Ghana, South Africa, and South African products that we then bring into the market to ensure that we do then pursue our agenda of ensuring that we create resilient value chains for the prosperity of the continent, and that is the opportunities that we will have. And in Ghana as well, and as part of the instruments of the African Continental Free Trade Area, an instrument was also launched, the Pan-Africanist Payment Settlement System. And what that basically means, Khaya, it means that you can simply trade. When I am traveling, and I'm Ghanaian and I travel to South Africa, I can trade and buy goods and services using the rand. As South Africans come to Ghana, we can then trade using our local currencies. And for me, those are part of the comparative advantages that we have and that we should leverage on to ensure prosperity of our continent, Khaya.
All right, Madam High Commissioner. So you can see Unati, the High Commissioner, really passionate about intra-Africa trade, boosting Ghana-South Africa relations. Of course, it's happening as the continent is marking Africa Day. So it's all about economic development, making sure that Africa is able to overcome some of the very chronic challenges that are still facing the continent.
Khaya, thank you so much for that. Of course, you didn't tell me what thank you means, in that part of the world. But from my side, Nkosi kakhulu to you and the High Commissioner. Of course, she is the High Commissioner for South Africa in Ghana.